we were moving from the trailer that we were living in over into a new house,
Yeah.
3/4 of a mile away. And Randy called and talked to Kyle, asked him, did he want to go hunting, dove hunting? And I never let him go hunting unless there was an adult responsible. So Kyle called Randy back, then Randy called Kyle back and said that his Uncle Charles would be with him. Well, when it came time to go into little groups, they squat down and they wait for the doves to be turned loose or whatever. And he sent those 4 14-year-olds to one group by themselves. And this just goes to show you that God was in all of this. There was a doctor in another area that came immediately and started taking care of him.
Oh, wonderful.
They put him on a flatbed truck and brought him from Pool Road to, they met the ambulance at I-20 and Post Road. And the doctor would not let the ambulance stop at Douglas County. He had a neurosurgeon that had just come home from Vietnam,
Wow.
waiting at Parkway Hospital when the ambulance drove in.
I miss that hospital.
And
So,
Wow.
he started, and when I let Kyle out, I was going to get my nails done, and when I let him out, I gave Randy a card, and him a card, of the number where I'd be. I said, if either one of you need me, you call me at this number. And that's how Earl Lee called me, was from that, out of Randy's pocket. But,
A lot of people don't remember early.
We do.
Yeah,
we do.
I do too.
Mikey
I
and
don't know who
I.
it was,
like
but, well, who it was, but that's fine. Just keep your story going, it's fine.
but, he met the ambulance. All right, like I said, I was somewhere else, and his daddy, for a change, was at home with where he was living, and they called him and got permission to start surgery. He had originally planned to be on a trip going up north to bring buses back to Douglas County. So for some reason, God didn't have him to go. And so he was already in surgery. And Dr. Fleming told us that if he lived through the night, he would never walk or talk.
I remember Dr. Fleming.
Michael T. Fleming.
I remember Dr. Fleming.
And it was Dr. Fleming that had went to school under a doctor at Emory. His name was Fleming. What was his last name?
Hey, you
His
talking
first
wrong
name was
people.
Fleming.
You talking wrong people.
Wrong person. Wrong person there.
But,
I
What's
remember
his name?
Fleming.
but he had some pull at Emory Rehab. He said Kyle is still a child, but he's in an adult body. He was 6 foot then. And he got him in there, Emory Rehab. And he said he'd be 3 weeks in recovery. I mean, in ICU. And he came in and found out that I was staying around the clock. So, well, the hospital gave us a private room for me and his daddy and grandmother, anybody that wanted to be there.
Emory was pretty
That must've
good
been
back
nice.
then.
And they had an area like this that they kept coffee and cookies all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Real nice.
when
They
we,
had that in Maine too, but they didn't give me a room.
but he only stayed 11 days in ICU. And Dr. Fleming says, I won't say nothing else to you about it, staying around the clock. But when he goes to his room, you are going home. And I remember they had his head was drawn to the right, and they was concerned because they could not get it.
Moved.
Uh-huh. And I had seen the room, and I told him, I said, just give me a minute, hold him out here in the hall. And I'll got to do something. So I moved, back then they had the TVs on one of those hydraulic arms.
Mhm.
So I moved it from the right of the bed over to the left-hand side of the bed.
Yeah, because you like TV.
When he got in that, when they got him in that room, he reached over and turned the TV on. Never had another problem with his head. But
I was telling you to keep you looking away.
And then he was only in there 11 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
How long was he in a coma?
I had no call.
He never lost consciousness.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, that is
That is
amazing.
amazing.
Sure is.
It
You
Real
are
amazing.
very
was
good.
gone.
That is.
Danny was in there for 92 days, and we slept behind the door in the waiting room.
Well, the first night,
There was no coffee.
He was in the
no-
ICU though. He wasn't in
Yeah,
ICU.
yeah.
Yeah, but
In
there's,
an ICU.
outside the ICU, they usually have an ICU waiting room, and
Yeah,
they
that's
serve
what they have.
coffee. They serve coffee and then donuts.
This was
or
ICU
cookies.
waiting room, but we slept behind the door.
Yeah.
on the
well,
floor.
that night,